That's okay.
Need to get to beer number 2 fast.
I do. This has been a day, been all kinds of craziness. Hey, we're live now.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. It's Hump Day Happy Hour with Carrie and Russ, and I am Russ Reyes from Kilt&Cork. And that beautiful purple-haired woman is Carrie from River City Wine Week, and most recently of the Good Buzz Tavern. That's a cool project you got going on.
Tavern.
Yeah,
we're getting some fun stuff in there.
We are, and it's people are joining already. Look at that. We've got Marcy saying hi. Jeremy's out there. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in already.
I'm trying to multitask. I'm sharing this as we're talking. So
okay,
give me.
That's a good thing. So while Carrie is sharing, I'm going to ask you, if you're watching out there, to please hit share on your Facebook page so that other people can join you at this happy hour with us and have a cocktail with you and have a cocktail with us, and we can meet them and they can get turned on to this kind of funky thing that we do every Wednesday and Friday, except for this Friday, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, when I'm not spilling beer, I'm drinking beer. So I'm gonna put a little bit more. Yeah. So welcome everybody. As usual, you have to tell us what you're drinking, and then we'll of course tell you what we are drinking. But we want to hear what you're drinking. We also want to hear where you're from, because we get people from all over.
I know. Hola, Marcy.
Hola. She speaks Spanish.
Jeremy. I feel like I'm everywhere with Jeremy these days. Every time I jump on, Jeremy's there too. Heck yeah.
Yeah, he's Jeremy. Definitely, if you don't know, he is the existential wine guy, and that's on Facebook and Instagram. That's Jeremy. He's got a really cool new wine club going on. We should ask him to come on and talk to us about his wine club.
Yeah, that would be awesome, because I'm interested in that wine club.
Yeah. Jeremy, if you're still watching out there, I think you have the link. You were on here before. You can jump on here so you can tell people about your new wine club, which is kind of cool. I don't know. It's kind of like he builds it as kind of experiencing life through wine. That's the whole existential experience, and that can be like very deep, I think. But it can also be like, if it was me, it wouldn't be deep at all.
Depends on how many beverages I've had. It could probably get deep for a second, and then it would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm sorry if I keep flinching and making weird faces. There seems to be an awful lot of wildlife out here tonight. I've got things like flying in my face, and there's a bird sitting right above my head over here.
It sounded like there was something getting ready to attack you there.
Well, there was a dog. There's a bunch of little tiny dogs, which always have the big voices, behind me.
Right.
Yeah, got some bees, some fruit flies, some spiders now. God.
Well, it looks like Jeremy's going to join us in here, and Marcy says she's drinking Spindrift because she's a little bit bored. I don't know. Marcy, tell us what a Spindrift is. What is that? What is a Spindrift? I've never heard of that.
I don't know. Is that a liquor, a beer?
Yeah, the choice of cocktails I see is very it's there's a lot of different variants out there. Some people are just drinking a lot of wine. I think some people are drinking a lot of alcohol. Some people are drinking everything. For me, it just depends on the mood. What about you, Carrie?
Well, you inspired me today with the cocktail recipe that you posted, because I love Death in the Afternoon, but I only had one absinthe, a mini of absinthe, and this is the color my drink is, and there's only about that much absinthe in there, so that tells you how green it was to begin with. So it's just bubbles and absinthe. That's Hemingway, yeah?
I was going to tell you, it's for people that don't know, we'll talk about that absinthe here in a second. Looks like John and Carolyn are with us. He's drinking cranberry juice. So Marcy's drinking sparkling water with grapefruit juice. which that's a good thing too. Sounds like she's.
I could probably do with a little bit of that.
I know, huh? Hold on one second. I just realized I'm like dripping like all over the place because when we opened the show, I was spilling beer everywhere.
Banshee peanut noir. I've liked Banshee in the past when I've tried it. It's been
Yeah.
a long time.
Okay, so there. I'm not here anymore. All right.
Oh, Tom Collins is making an appearance. Nice.
I know. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm getting some weird, crazy feedback. I don't know who that is. Okay,
Yeah,
can you hear that still? No? All right. It's going to be Jeremy. Jeremy's going to be joining us here in a second, but Jeremy, I'm getting some weird stuff on your mic. It sounds like you're a transformer. So I'm not quite sure what that is. Looks like Michael and Beverly are in the house. That's very cool. And Dave Thomas and his wife are in the house. Bombay, Jen, and Tom Collins. Oh, that's a great one. That's a good one. Very cool. Love that. All right. Well, I'd asked Jeremy to join us. He is the existential wine guy. Am I coming across weird? Or is that just in my audio?
No. Yeah, you're a little bit warbly every once in a while, but not too bad. I can still understand you and hear you.
Okay. That must be my feed coming through Jeremy. But we're going to bring Jeremy on anyways because he's got a wine club I wanted him to talk about real quick. And we'll get back into the cocktails here in a second. But he's got a kind of cool thing going on. And I just wanted him to be able to share it with everybody because we like Jeremy. Jeremy's a great guy.
Yes, we do.
So we're going to bring him on, and he's going to talk to us about his new project. Jeremy.
Hello.
Jeremy, can you hear us?
You do sound like a
No. Yeah, so I think it's your audio. Jeremy, you sound like a transformer. I'm going to leave it on because people are going to think they're so drunk that they're hearing.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so crazy. Are we on acid? I've never done acid before. We talked about this on a show before, but it sounds like, we've got a psychedelic background, and you're kind of coming across them like crazy.
Let's just all start talking crazy.
Okay, dude, that's crazy shit right there. Man, seriously, you sound like a transformer. Okay, so I'm gonna let you figure the audio out so you can actually talk about what you're doing. So I'm gonna take you off screen, kind of figure that out, and then we'll bring you back once you're not a transformer. Okay.
That was really funny.
Okay, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Okay, I think he's got that figured out. But so we'll bring him back here in a second. He's in timeout. Damn, he's a professional, man. He should know better than that shit to come on to sound like a transformer.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
Damn. Anyways, so yeah, tonight, folks, we're going to be talking about cocktails. Carrie had put out there, if you guys have a favorite cocktail, put that out there, the recipe we want to hear. Sounds like we've got some gin, a lot of gin going on out there, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, nice.
Some
Hi,
wine.
Darren.
Got some cool cocktails. I'm cheating tonight. I'm drinking beer because I'll talk to you about absinthe here in a minute. And Carrie is making me jealous because she's drinking absinthe.
Well, I thought you were coming with the absinthe, so I thought, well, okay.
I'm bringing the absinthe story, so I'll bring the absinthe story, and then I'm going to beg for absinthe.
I will tell you that, yeah, I will be pretty well done and ready for bed at the end of this cocktail.
You will, yeah. Absinthe is one of my favorites, so we'll talk about that in a second. But we're going to bring Jeremy back now that he's not a transformer anymore. He's back to being human. He is back to being
He's
human.
so sure about that. How am I sounding now, guys?
Yeah,
That's better.
Way better.
You sound human now. That's good.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I couldn't hear any of that on my end, so I don't know what it was like, but I'm glad it's fixed now.
I'll have to go back and watch it afterwards. It was kind of funny. It was definitely different. So, Jeremy, you're venturing into wine club world now.
Yeah.
You've got a virtual, or not a virtual, but you've got a wine club.
I do. Right now, I'm in the beta test for it, so I've been looking for just a few people. It's somewhere between 12 and 24. To test this out. But more than anything else, since we started, this shelter in place, I'm getting, people reaching out to me literally from all over the country. What's a good suggestion? Suggest a good wine? Are there any good wine clubs out there? Who should I visit when I'm out in California? And there's just, people were asking, like, do you have a wine club? And I thought, well, maybe I should start looking into it. With the whole COVID thing going on in the shelter in place, it's been a good time to, talk to the ABC, which I started the process a long time ago. And what I really wanted to do was, more than anything else, was bring wineries that probably don't have distribution, that you would never see like outside of California, and maybe not even outside of the region that they're in, and sort of promote those. And, I'm out there so often, and, usually when I get into a winery, I find a way to, talk to the winemaker or the tasting room manager or something. And I just learn a little bit more about that particular winery. And what I want to do is help support those wineries, and also just share the amazing wine that is out there right now that normally wouldn't even make it outside of California or outside of the region. So I'm handpicking, with this first set's going to be 4 different wines, mostly in this case from the Sierra foothills. So it'll be Amador and El Dorado County. And I'm just going to throw those out there. And then what I'm going to do that's going to be a little bit different than other wine clubs out there is, after everybody gets their wine, we're going to do something similar like this. We're going to set up a Zoom, and we're going to go over the wines. And as much as I love virtual tastings, that's not what I want to do in this particular case. People could taste along with me, sure, but mostly I want to go over every single wine and show like why I got excited about it. What is it about this particular wine or this particular winery that is exciting, and if you ever make it out to California, this is who you should visit. Also, in this wine club, you're going to get the wine club information from that particular winery. So if you like their wines, you could join their wine club. You could order directly from them as well. So that's not stuff that necessarily goes through me, but especially with everything that's been going on lately, I just want to promote the amazing wine regions that we have that some people don't know about. A lot of people, especially outside of California, they don't know about the Sierra foothills. They, maybe they know a little bit about Lodi, but when they think California wine or wine country, they think Napa and Sonoma, and those are fantastic areas. But to be true, California is wine country. You can't drop yourself anywhere in California. You go 50 miles in any direction, you are going to find a producer, you're going to find vine, you're going to find a tasting room. Something is going to be out there. And I think that's one thing that doesn't get out there, even sometimes in California. Then also what a Cabernet may mean in Napa, there are different Cabernets done so differently and excitingly in different regions. And, El Dorado is, I think, a really great example of that. There's a lot of Cabernet planted up there. People are making extraordinary wine. It just doesn't, it's not like Napa wine. It's a little bit different. And I think that there needs to be an appreciation for those guys who are doing it. So basically, that's what I'm doing. I want to bring, these little known wineries. I want to give them a little bit more attention. I want to show other people why I love them. And of course, I'm the existential wine guy. So we're going to talk about it in not just the technical breakdown of those wines, but we're going to talk about the story behind the wines. We're going to, I'm going to go through, the everything that brought me to this wine, and now that wine has been brought to you. So if anybody is interested, they can go to existentialwineguy.com/wine club. And you can sort of sign up there, or find me on Facebook and Instagram, message me directly. I would love to hear from you if you think this would be something you want to be a part of. But I guess, I mean, there's so much great wine. I mean, both of you guys know this. If you took just El Dorado and Amador County, there are, are we at hundreds now? Hundreds of amazing wineries out there that are doing. Yeah,
between both of them, we are.
Yeah. So, I just want to share the love a little bit. And if people hadn't been asking me for this for the last, 6 months, almost a year now, I wouldn't be doing it. So we're doing a beta test, and if you're interested, I would love to have you part of it.
So question, we had Marcy asked, what's the price point right now that you're talking about for this first shipment?
So yeah, the beta test is actually it's $150 with shipping included. So we're going to do 4 lines, and then we're going to ship them to you. I'm not actually looking to make a whole lot of money off of this on this beta test. I really just want to see if this is something that can be done and if people are interested. I know that people are interested. So, just breaking down the mechanics of it this first time around, it's sort of, this is going to be the sort of discounted price. We may change it. And one thing for anybody that does join, after we're done with this, with the first shipment, I'm going to be looking for feedback, a lot of honest feedback about it. And, does this work for you? Is this something, in terms of the Zoom and talking about the wines, is this something you're interested in as well? There's a lot of discount wine clubs out there, and they're great. They're going to get, wine to your door. This is going to be a little different. This is going to support independent boutique winemakers and, and really hopefully bring more awareness that it's not just Napa and Sonoma, that there is a new, just emerging set of winemakers that are doing incredible things. So even if you've tasted wines from those regions before, like in this case, the Sierra Foothills, but you haven't done it in a while, man, wineries change year by year. And right now, the level of winemaking is through the roof. It's something to really get excited about. And the worst things about this whole, shelter in place thing is I can't get to wineries anymore.
Yeah,
it is killing me. That's my go-to. Even on a weekday, if I've got a couple of extra hours, located here in Sacramento, I am 40 minutes from Lodi. I am an hour and 5 minutes if there's no traffic to Sonoma. I am, 50 minutes to the Sierra Foothills, and probably sooner depending on where. And there's just, both of you guys know it's just amazing right now. If you're a fan of wine and you live in Northern California, you are blessed. We have perfect weather. From right now to probably late October, there's not going to be a cloud in the sky.
Even into November.
Oh, even then, yes, you're absolutely right.
Jeremy,
yeah,
you are you're doing some great work, man. I love that you're doing this. You're starting the wine club. That's a big venture, and I wish you the best. I hope that you get some people signing up and getting out there with you.
Yeah, no,
it's great. What are you drinking, by the way?
This is horrible. My wife and I just went for a jog, so I'm drinking water.
Okay.
On purpose?
I know. But it's fun.
Rookie.
One of the things I'm going to be talking about next week is, because of the COVID-19, for whatever reason, I've had so many people reach out to me on Facebook, kind of like 30 friend requests a day, and many of those have been winemakers. They've also been wine distributors or importers, I should say. So I'm friends with an Italian importer. And so I'm going to be tasting some Sardinian wines tonight, and and then I'm going to be talking about them next week as well. So tonight's all research is all for you.
Good. Well, thank you, and good job with that, man. Darren says that he's been getting a lot of requests too. I have not been getting a lot of requests. I think people think I'm a little bit of a quirky person, which is okay. I'm all right with that.
I've been accused of that once or twice myself.
Yeah, but I appreciate what you're doing, Jeremy. You're doing a great job. So if you want more information or to find out more about his wine club, check out his page on Existential Wine Guy on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
and you guys are having so much fun. I'm checking in with you guys. Just about every single time. And right now, I'm very jealous of both of your drinks right now, especially.
Wow. It's I know we're gonna get to the absinthe in a second.
All right,
brother, man. Well, thank you for coming on and talking about your wine club. And good job, jogging. Keeping active.
Yeah, I know, right? The wife is kicking my ass. She's doing a great job. Great work. Guys, thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
That's a tough one. He's got to do research by drinking lots of wines.
Yeah. So speaking of great local winemakers, Kevin Luther just joined us
I
from
know.
Voluptuary. So if
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
haven't
Kevin.
checked out those wines, check out the packaging just to start. You'll fall in love with them from that level. But they're doing some really fun stuff. And a lot of virtual tastings.
Kevin, if you want to pop on and talk about your virtual tastings, we'd love to have you too some one of these times. So, anybody that wants to join us, you're always welcome to. We do the live open mic night on Fridays, but people are shy on Friday. I don't know why.
They're probably tired. It's a long week in isolation. They just want to drink. They don't want to have to formulate sentences. I kind of get that way sometimes.
Yeah, they do. They don't want to actually talk.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're drinking absinthe.
I am drinking absinthe. I just wanted to point out something. What Jeremy was saying, how so many people don't know what goes on in our local wine regions here. I'm trying to put together a wine class for the Sierra foothills to learn, the history about Sierra foothills and the Lodi region. So basically a Sacramento Valley wine appreciation class, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I've been hopping on a couple of other classes because I used to do classes all the time, write my own courses when I had my own shop and when I was at Total Wine, but I wanted to make sure that my level of coursework was still up to snuff with what else is out there. So I did an introduction to California wines, and it was a 2-hour class. And guess how much time they spent combined on the Sierra foothills and Lodi? Combined.
Yeah. Combined.
10 minutes. 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Wow.
4 minutes. Yeah. So
that's tragic.
And I'm not even sure the information was correct. So it was kind of a bummer. But anyway, I think what Jeremy's doing is really cool.
Yeah. No, it's and like you said, we're lucky to live so close to all these cool wineries and the beer scene, it's just everyone up here is so amazing, and I love drinking all the stuff that they make. So we'll just put it away. Although I will, to be completely transparent, I am not drinking anything local tonight. I'm drinking something from Hawaii tonight, just because.
Right. Maybe you can just imagine you're on a little Hawaiian vacation.
That's kind of why
and we're all with you.
Exactly. That's my lake is behind me, my little ocean back there, and
you should turn the bubble.
It's in the my little rubber duck.
It could be like crashing waves.
That's right. But if you're out there joining us just now, please make sure that you put in your comment section what you're drinking and where you're watching us from. We'd love to hear you, and also if you can share our page. We'd love to join you and join us for a cocktail, because that's kind of what we do Wednesdays and Fridays. That's all. Right. Just Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm fibbing.
Right. Yeah, totally not doing that any other night of the week.
So tonight is talking about cocktails. Carrie, did you get anybody sending you some of their favorite cocktails today? Did anyone talk to you about their cocktails?
No, other than Lori from the Sheldon Wine Shop said she recommended somebody's jalapeno margarita. So I asked her to come on next Tuesday, but for Cinco de Mayo, but I didn't get a response yet.
Okay. So Carrie just brought up Cinco de Mayo. We are going to be broadcasting. Okay, so this is a good time. We'll talk about it a couple of times. We're not going to have a show.
Big schedule change.
Yeah, big schedule change on Friday. We're not going to do a show on Friday because we are both going to be doing some other shows. We got some other commitments that we're doing. So there's not going to be a show on Friday. And then next week, we're going to change our Wednesday show to Tuesday because it's Cinco de Mayo. And we figured that we should have a Cinco de Mayo party. So I don't know. That show might go longer than an hour. I have no idea. We'll see. But we know that one thing, we need to have something to drink. And maybe some tacos.
And tacos I made, we had tacos al pastor last night that we made ourselves. Although
nice.
It didn't look quite like the picture, but it still tasted pretty good. And on our Cinco de Mayo show, we're going to do a tequila tasting as well. I picked up my first tequila. I will butcher the name. I'll just say its origin, but it's probably Origene, Origene, that I picked up from Bourbon Wine and Spirits on Foothills Boulevard in Folsom. So that's an añejo. So I got a sipping tequila. So that's the first one on my list. I'm going to pick up, I think I'm going to see if anybody will sell me a shot of tequila to go that I can get from a local restaurant. Yeah.
Good idea. I might try that too. And see, maybe order a couple of tacos and a shot of tequila.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
And then if anybody has a monster, amazing margarita recipe and they want to come on and show us how to make a really awesome margarita, let us know.
That's right. So Tuesday at 5:00, right here, we're going to be doing our Cinco de Mayo special happy hour for Cinco de Mayo. Because, none of us are going to be at a bar or anywhere else drinking on Cinco de Mayo.
Nope.
So we'll see you back here. But, okay, so cocktails. If you have a favorite cocktail out there, definitely put it in there. But you're drinking one of my favorite liquors.
Okay, I'll show it again.
Yeah, show it again.
It's a little Superman-y.
It's very green.
It's not normally. Normally the absinthe I drink is not quite this, neon color. But
so where is that absinthe from?
I honestly don't know. It is on it was a mini that I've had since I worked at Total Wine. So I've had it for a while. But the brand is called Mephisto, but I don't know where it comes from. But it is neon green when you pour it out. And it's some of them are more like softly herbaceous. This one is very definitely anise, licoricey.
Yeah, most of the good ones are going to have very heavy anise. And if you don't know, absinthe for a long time wasn't allowed in the United States, especially the European absinthe, because of it contains a bark called wormwood, which has a slight hallucinogenic property to it.
But I have a counter to that. Do you know that they also say that that may not be the reason? It's because when they did make it, there were so many impurities in the absinthe, and people would just drink themselves blind. They would drink just so much.
It's 120 proof. It's very, very strong alcohol. But it's I can tell you, and
I'm trying to hold it together, people.
John Zachary just put up there the first time he had it was a friend, Mike Kobus, who actually was one of the first persons I've had absinthe with. But the thing I like about absinthe, there's two things. One, it's unique. And it's hard to find the good absinthe. You can order it from Europe. But the second thing is there's a protocol or a ceremony to drinking it if you do it the right way, the Bohemian way. With the sugar cube and the fire and it's a very cool way to enjoy cocktail hour by making yourself an absinthe. A lot of artists also enjoyed absinthe in their day. To the point
of an absinthe bar in Midtown.
Did they really? That was before my time then.
So that was probably it's where the sausage place. What's that? Lowbrow. Okay. Yeah, where Lowbrow is. Yeah. So that used to be an absinthe-based bar. Yeah, I drank absinthe there one night, and I was having such a great time. I just kicked my shoes off across the bar. They just went flying.
Yeah. See, that'll happen. Yeah,
so no problem.
we got a hold of some absinthe that was delivered to us from the Czech Republic, and so it was not. It wasn't approved by our government, but heck, they didn't know we had it, so we drank it, and it definitely had a different property to it that once and just consuming just a shot of it, or drink over the ice cube or the sugar cube, and it put some water in it so it turns milky, and after two of them, it wasn't just a feeling of intoxication; it was also a feeling of being out of your body. It was something really different.
Euphoric.
Well, I don't know. Some of my friends described it as feeling like there's like this muffling sound coming in and out of your head. It's just this weird things slow down. But so the cocktail I shared today on the Good Buzz Tavern was called Death in the Afternoon, which Carrie,
Which is the greatest name for a cocktail.
It is
ever.
Amazing name for a cocktail. And Carrie already knew about it, and so she said that's one of her favorite cocktails. And so what Death in the Afternoon is about 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces. It's kind of your choice, but a couple ounces of absinthe in a flute, and then you fill it with ice cold champagne or sparkling wine, whatever you have. And what'll happen is it'll turn the absinthe this milky color, just like when you add water to it. But it's
not mine.
Not yours, but a good absinthe.
You know.
So I guess the origin of that story, obviously, is Ernest Hemingway wrote a book called Death in the Afternoon. And Ernest Hemingway was a big drinker and a big, I don't know, he loved life. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
He loved women. He loved
drinking. Yes.
Yes. He was, he lived a large life. And so apparently in 1935, they asked all the celebrities, I guess at that time, which I can imagine he was one of them, to offer a cocktail for a recipe book they were putting together. And so he came up with the cocktail Death in the Afternoon.
Yeah,
exact words. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it is not for the faint of heart.
It isn't.
No, it is a serious damn cocktail.
It's a high octane cocktail, but this is what he said in his quote to the journalist in 1935. He said, pour 1 jigger of absinthe into the champagne glass, add iced champagne until it attains the proper opalescent milkiness, and then drink 3 to 5 of them slowly. So he's telling you to drink 3 to 5 of those cocktails slowly, and I can only imagine that he probably doesn't know after the third one, or maybe even the second one. But
oh my god, yeah.
So, Carrie, you know what they call it when you're drinking absinthe, right? There's a term for that. I think this is cool too.
I don't think I know this.
All right, this is a good one. So if you are drinking absinthe, if you and I were together right now drinking absinthe, it's like one of the only beverages that has a term associated with the act of actually drinking this liquor. It's called dancing with the green fairy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if you're watching us, that's another thing that this little happy hour group has to do someday. We've got to get together and we all have to dance with the green fairy, because it's, so that's on my birthday's coming up again.
We're definitely going to need something close to a hotel.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we need a hotel just so we can get together and celebrate our online happy hour. But I'm hoping that I get a bottle of absinthe for my birthday this year. I didn't ask for much. In fact, that's all I asked for.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We used to, there's actually, here's your reason to go to Burning Man, Russ. There is a bar. So people come and set up bars, and there's actually an absinthe bar out of San Francisco, and they show up. They must have 50 different kinds of absinthe.
Wow.
So the base of it is all the same, but then they flavor it with different things.
Sure.
Including bacon. There's a bacon absinthe.
Bacon absinthe.
Yeah.
I'll think about that one for a little bit.
But it's pretty neat, but it's all homemade absinthe, so
yeah,
buyer beware.
I mean, it's absinthe it's just one of those things. If you haven't tried it, you should probably get out there and try it at least once. Make sure you're in a safe environment and that you're not going to drive anywhere, and
hide your car keys.
Yeah, and that you have someone that you really trust next to you. So. Yeah,
and put your phone away, for goodness sakes.
Oh yeah,
no pictures.
No pictures. You do not want proof that you were drinking absinthe. I had friends who were drinking it, and they were jumping over campfires just because they were having so much fun. Yeah. So Darren wants to dance with the green fairy also. So Darren will be part of the group that's going to be dancing with the green fairy once we get free from all this stuff.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. So what else, Carrie? What other cocktails are you a fan of? Like liqueurs?
I don't actually drink a lot. I drink a lot of, if you put champagne in anything, I'll drink it. But I like Death in the Afternoon. I like a French 75. Let's see. Like a corpse reviver. I like a white
What's
lemon.
that? What's a corpse reviver? I got to know.
I have to look it up. I just know that when I see it, I like it. Let's see. I will tell you right now. That's a lot. That's a pretty common one.
Marcy said that when she was in New Orleans, they got I guess she's talking about absinthe. They got one for 3 of them, and they couldn't finish it. So that's a good one, Marcy.
Okay, so the corpse reviver here is gin, Lillet, lemon juice, Cointreau, and a drop of absinthe.
Nice. Carrie, I didn't know you liked absinthe. I'm so excited now.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Does your husband like it?
No. No, for the first 2 years that we went to Burning Man together, I would just put absinthe and water in my water bottle that I walked around with. Yeah, he thought that was just about the worst choice I could have made. Well, and don't do that. If you have a dedicated water bottle, that's fine, but you will never get the smell of absinthe out of your container.
If you don't like licorice, you won't like absinthe. At least the regular absinthe. I don't know if the bacon absinthe, but
that wasn't even the weirdest one, but I can't think of the other ones we tried.
So Lillet, that's in one of my favorite cocktails. That's in my Vesper.
Oh, what's that? I don't think I've even heard of that one.
So it's one of my weird. It's a fan drink because it's actually the preferred drink of James Bond. When he asked for a martini, shaken not stirred, that martini has a name. See, I know way too much trivia about cocktails.
I like it. That's awesome.
But that cocktail that James Bond orders has a name, and it's called the Vesper.
Okay.
So, and it's a shot of gin, a shot of vodka, a splash of Lillet, and it's has a slice of lemon in it, a slice of lemon rind in it.
Because a normal martini like that has vermouth, so the Lillet is like the vermouth.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So the Lillet acts as the vermouth in that, and then you shake it in a shaker, and then you with ice, and then you pour it out into your martini glass, and you garnish it with the lemon rind. And so it's a delicious, refreshing martini, and you kind of feel like James Bond when you order it. So I don't go the whole.
You have to wear a tuxedo to wear it. I mean, to drink it. I don't know.
Well, you don't have to. I typically don't.
Maybe you should just get one of those T-shirts that has the tuxedo printed.
The tuxedo. That's a good idea.
I think that's appropriate. You can wear that when we get together, and your kilt.
And my kilt. I could do that. Tuxedo top and my kilt, and I'll order a Vesper. You know what though? It's a sad drink though. People don't realize this. It's named after his only ever true love. Yeah. So he loved her. Her name was Vesper.
I know, but which one was she in? Was she actually in one of the?
Yeah, Casino Royale, and the one after she was in that. She died.
Oh,
horribly.
What's her fate? Eva Green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He couldn't save her. But anyways, that's the name of the drink is the Vesper, so that's a good one. So what are you guys drinking out there? What are your favorite cocktails that are kind of weird and quirky? Because we've talked about a few here. I'm so glad that I'm not the only person that knows Death in the Afternoon. Because that's really an old...
Yeah.
It's an old drink. Yeah. It goes way back.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I like Ernest Hemingway. I don't know. I probably just like things that are slightly off kilter anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm your friend, so you must.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other weird cocktails. Because I kind of started with all the super sweet cocktails. I don't do those anymore.
Do you like cocktails? Do you like them with eggs in them? Like raw egg?
No. Well, usually those ones, I feel like those ones are usually pretty sweet, aren't they?
I know there's a lot of cocktails like from the 30s after Prohibition that have a lot of egg white in them.
Right. Yeah. No, it's not really my jam. I like really crisp, acidic cocktails.
Okay.
So lots of citrus, lots of bubbles, gin, vodka, those kind of combos.
Nice. Well, we've got some viewers out there, some kind of new people. Marlena is watching us, and Joanne Miller is watching us. Marcy's, of course, out there. Jeremy's still with us, and Darren.
Excellent.
And John said that his name on the trail, I guess PCT, Pacific Coast Trail.
Yeah.
Which I can understand.
That seems like
chafing is a real problem. It is. I think so. Yeah. Marcy said she feels like a lot of people start with sweet drinks. I think I agree.
Well, a lot of people start with sweet wine too. So
they do. That's how I started.
It's naturally likable because wine or things that are bitter or sour are not naturally likable. So you have to learn to like them.
So, because you're a wine person, have you heard that the wines that were made like in the ancient Greece and ancient Rome and even up into early Middle Ages tended to be a little more sweeter than what we would know now, just because one, they were more stable if they were sweeter, and two, that's kind of what people, that was what their taste was. They didn't have the fermentation technology that we did.
I would believe that. I don't know. That.
I don't know.
I mean, that sounds reasonable, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to know more if anyone out there could speak to that. Of course, there's not many records of wine and what it tasted like from the Roman Greek days. Yeah, but I don't know. I think maybe that person was just bullshitting me the whole time because they were this wine knowledgeable person and talking about how wines were made and you never know. But do you remember your first wine? What your very first wine was?
No, because somebody posted a meme and it was about Generation X and it was a picture of a little kid, like a toddler, still without much hair, drinking out of a beer can. And it's like Generation X, the last great generation. And my dad used to give me wine and beer at the restaurants all the time when I was 5 and 6 years old, but I have no idea what the first one would be. I know my first aha moment with a wine was weirdly a local wine. So that would have been over 20 years ago. It was the Soban Rocky Top Zin. I tasted it and I went, oh, that's why people are so crazy about wine. Because I just kept forcing myself to drink wine because I liked the culture of wine, but I couldn't ever really say that I was really in love with the wine. And that was the first one where I went, all right, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really remember mine, but you're the same way. I mean, I'm technically the tail end of the baby boomers. Like I think literally like the last year before Gen X, 62. And
Gen X, I think
I'm in between. I'm in that hybrid. And my parents were a lot the same. They'd let me taste whatever they were drinking. They were big rum drinkers. So I think I probably developed a taste for rum and brandy before I did wine. They did not drink wine. I don't ever remember my parents drinking wine at all, except for
my dad was all about a PBR. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Coors. My dad drank Coors a lot. So
I feel like red wine. My dad did drink red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember when I really got turned on to wine was when I moved to Germany when I was in the Air Force, and so that was a big experience for me, learning about the wines and traveling and going to the Rhine, and the wines are sweeter. So, and my wife didn't drink wine at that time. She didn't really drink wine much either. But I think I remember, we would go to these castles and go to these places, and that also adds to the experience of wine.
Of course.
I mean, who doesn't want to drink wine in a castle?
And everything would taste amazing there.
Oh yeah, no, everything. I still think of that time when I lived in Germany as just magical because it was, it's a lot about the experience, but then you get I got back to the States and it was more about beer. And I think of the same thing with me, like you and the Soban. I didn't really get back into the wine until I moved here to this year Foothills.
Yeah.
And then you start finding all this amazing wine out here. So a lot of people are telling us a lot of comments. Jeremy said that's true about the sweet wine.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Okay,
so
and Darren followed it up too. He said that the wine was made with herbs, spices, and honey diluted with water. And now that you say that, yes, now that rings true. My first wine was a 1964 half-gallon of Gallo White Port. All right. Nice.
Let's see. Who is that? Yeah. So Marcy said, I'm so Gen X. I don't know about that. I don't know what I am. I think I'm like I don't know what I am. But yeah, and I would love to try some wines that were made back in those days. If a winemaker said, hey, I'm going to make some wines as a tribute to early winemaking with the spices and the stuff, that would be cool.
Careful what you wish for, man.
You know, Carrie, when we were going to have the when we were going to do the Motherlode Brew Festival, Beer and Music Festival, which we still are, it's still on the calendar, we haven't canceled it yet. One of the cool things about this beer festival, and again, I don't want to talk about all my projects and promote them, but this is important because it's cool, is we were going to have a section of the beer festival that was devoted to the beers that would have been made back in the 1800s during the gold rush.
That is cool.
And it was going to be the El Dorado County wineries. So all the El Dorado County wineries were going to brew one beer that is a typical beer that you would have had back in the gold rush days, and they were going to serve it in this special part of the brew festival. Yeah. So if we have the brew festival, we are still going to have that. So
I feel like 150 years ago, I'm totally willing to taste that. I don't know about the style from 2,000 years ago.
Well, yeah. Well, imagine if you could say, if someone could say, okay, this wine was the style or flavor that Cleopatra would have been drinking when her and Mark Antony were getting busy.
Wouldn't you think the wines would all have to be heavily oxidized?
I think they probably were to a certain extent, but I would think that even the winemakers back then would probably realize that once they put it into the amphora and they sealed it, that once you open it, you got to drink it. So, because look at, they probably still have tons of wine, just like our current winemakers. And I can't imagine that it would be, but maybe that's why they flavored it. Maybe that's why they put spices and things in it so that you wouldn't really notice that as much. So I don't know. So we're getting some comments on their first wines. John said his first was Boone's Farm.
Right.
Strawberry Hill, I remember that. And Michael and Beverly's was Cold Duck.
That's Andre, yeah.
Is it?
Andre Cold Duck, yep.
Wow. I don't remember that one. I remember the name, but I never. Do you remember Matus? Came in that flat round bottle.
They still sell that.
Do they really?
Yeah, you can buy that. When I was at Total Wine, they have it in the Portuguese section, and it's that big flat bottle, and it actually sold surprisingly well.
And then, do you remember Blue Nun?
They still sell that too.
What? They do?
Yeah. But Blue Nun's just like simple German.
It's just a simple, it's a simple German.
Sweet. But yeah, no, that's still available. Blue Nun is still available.
How about this one? Black Tower.
No. What's that?
It was another German wine, and it came in this black bottle, like a long ball, with a cat on it.
Yeah, the cat bottle. Yeah, no, they still don't sell that too.
They do. Yeah, it was called Black Tower. I don't know. It's funny. You won't find those, I don't think, in Germany. Maybe you will. I don't know. I never saw them over there, but those were like the very first wines I think I was ever exposed to. Oh, and Lambrusco.
Yeah. Well, I just had the Lambrusco not too long ago, and it was actually really, really good. But it was properly made Lambrusco, I guess I'll say. Okay, what's the best wine you've ever had? Ooh, that's hard.
Yeah, that is hard.
The one that popped into my mind, and I've been lucky. I've had a lot of really great wines, and I think most of the wines that I would consider really great have been wines that were associated with something great, like some really amazing gathering with friends or people that were special. But I did go to a trade tasting that was put on by Chateau de Cam in San Francisco, and they are a sweet wine, a Sauterne producer, the best of the best. But they do a dry wine, and I think it's just called Y. And it was, I can still taste it. It was one of the more magical wines I've ever tasted, and I know that it was not influenced by the surroundings because it was very clinical and sterile. But
yeah. I think we're getting a lot of good comments. Linda said go shopping in Indiana and you'll find all those wines that we just talked about. And then Mike and Beverly Lancers. I think the magical moment for me was, again, back in Germany when I first had, everyone knows, well, not everyone, but Germany, there's a wine called Spätlese, which is, it's a sweeter, I think it's made out of Riesling, but it's sweet. And then there's like a Auslese. Yep. It's a sweet Riesling. Then there's a next level, which is like a Baron Auslese, which is even sweeter. And then their top level is called Trockenbeeren Auslese, and it's like a Sauterne. It's got the noble rot. It's super dense and thick. Yeah. And I didn't know any of that when I drank it the first time. I just knew that it was like I was drinking syrup, but it was magical. It was like dancing on my tongue. It was amazing. It was beautiful. And so that style of wine, I think, has always had a place in my heart as far as just being special. You don't get to drink it all the time. But you know what, Carrie?
What?
You're you're kind of in the industry, so you probably could get some of these. That's funny, Harvey Wallbangers. You could get some of these. We need to have a wine tasting where we've got Blue Nun and Lancers and Matus and all of these wines from the 70s. Let's do it.
And we can wear disco pants and bell bottoms and. Oh,
totally. And it should. We'll do a virtual tasting because those bottles are maybe $10-12 each.
Yep.
We could do a three bottle. You could go out to your local Bevmo, buy your 3-bottle, your Lancers, because Lancers is in that weird crock kind of bottle that's brownish, right? Reddish brown.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think it is. Yeah. So we're going to do that. I'm going to set it up. We'll do a virtual tasting. Carrie's going to be here, and we're going to go through these wines that our parents drank.
It would be so fun.
Blue Nun. I don't know. So if you say they're available, we have to find a place that they're available so we can do that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Total still has them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. John said
Darren's was a 94 Margaux. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, Darren. Darren's a Somm. He's a sommelier, so of course his first was a Margaux. But he's down for our tasting, though.
I think it would be so fun.
So I signed up. For a tasting, virtual wine tasting, because I do a lot of them, and I'm doing a class tomorrow with some of the wineries that are in Amador and El Dorado on how to do virtual wine tastings, just best practices, not like all that kind of stuff. But so I signed up for a virtual tasting on wine.com. So Bon Jovi, his son actually is in the wine world. He had a tasting last night. I missed it, but I'm not going to miss the next one. It's May 6th, and it's with John Legend. And
he's my favorite after the Prince tribute.
So he's doing he's got a couple of wines from the collection that you used to represent.
Yeah, Boisset.
Yeah, LVE.
Yeah.
So those are going to be. Well, I've never had them, so I'm going to taste them on May 6th along with John Legend.
Wednesday. Nice.
Yeah.
So you said Bon Jovi. That was my first concert.
Bon Jovi?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I came home and I brought my mom a dozen roses because I'd never been to a concert before. But my best friend in high school, and I got my mom a dozen roses so I could ask her if I could go to the concert.
Aww.
And then it was back in the day where he was, was living on a prayer, so he was suspended and flying. And he sweat on me, and I never washed that shirt until I threw it away.
Oh my goodness! It had John Bon Jovi sweat on it.
Yep.
That's too funny.
Kind of lost his luster for me now, but he was great back in the day.
He was. He's good. Wow, my friend Steve Abbott's on here. He's like my brother from another mother. Thanks, Steve.
Russ Legend.
I don't know about Russ Legend, but I'm going to be watching John Legend drink some wine, see how he does it. So
that this weekend, I think on Saturday, that Sip Amador is doing a tasting, because this would be the weekend of Amador Four Fires.
Yeah, it would. It was my
thing. So they are doing a cheese and wine tasting, and they have Roxanne O'Brien, who is she's at American River College, but she's a cheese, I guess, expert or enthusiast. So she will be leading the cheese tasting, and they'll be pairing with wine. So that'll be pretty fun. So, and I think everybody can jump on that. I don't think you need a Zoom link. I think you can just show up for that.
Right.
Something a little fun, a little different, celebrating food and wine.
Yeah. That's a good question. Of the celebrity wines, which one do you like? There's a lot.
Okay, let's name some. Well, there's the
Pink's better on label.
What's Pink? I've never tried Pink's label.
Two Wolves.
Nope, never even seen it. The only one I can think of that I've liked is the John Legend stuff.
John Legend. So that's the LG, the LVE.
Mm-hmm. But there's Mirabella's, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. That's still out there. There's Greg Norman, if he counts as a celebrity.
Have you had that? Have you had that?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I'd like to try Maynard's wine from Tool. Maynard Keenan. He's in Arizona, but it's Caduceus.
Yeah, I've had his other label. I did wine tasting in Arizona.
Not good.
It was a weird thing. It was fine. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to get the wines, but we went to 3 wineries, and weirdly, all 3 wineries seemed to have the exact same wine. Like it was the same blend of grapes, and they all had this very not distinct kind of character to them.
Interesting.
So
I haven't had Dreaming Tree. Have you had Dave Matthews Band, his label Dreaming Tree?
Yeah, that it's just easy drinking. It's if I'm thinking of the right one. Yeah, it's it's like in the Apothic Red category, just easy drinking, lots of fruit. Yeah. John Zachary Monger, you're right. Cheesemonger. Sorry.
Yeah. Cheesemonger. Les Claypool. I didn't even know Les Claypool had a wine. But Darren, if we can get a hold of a bottle of Caduceus, we should sit together and have a steak.
Actually, where I also had his wine, and I think it was the Caduceus label, was at the Aftershock. The Aftershock Festival in Sacramento in the fall.
Gotcha.
His wines were the Wine Garden or whatever. Oh, Christy Kerr. Actually, I'm so silly. I totally forgot. Christy Kerr's wines are beautiful. She is partnered with Helen Keplinger, who used to make
no kidding
Giant Family wines. So her wines are good. And then she has a second label called Curvature. And she partners with Pride Mountain Vineyards for the Curvature label. And those wines, the proceeds benefit breast cancer research and treatment. So those are very, very good wines. Yeah, they're very good wines.
There you go. So Mike and Beverly, those are good wines to try. I didn't even know. Yeah, it seems like a natural thing then for some people to try and for a celebrity to try and venture into the wine world with their name.
Oh, but you know what I did? I don't usually do this, so I have had very few celebrity wines, but I did just buy one that's come. It's going to be shipped to me. It's quarantine wine from Ashton Kutcher and
What?
Mila Kunis. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
I was trying to buy it for my mom because she has a little crush on Ashton Kutcher, but they don't ship to Hawaii, so they're coming here first.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, Darren said Wayne Gretzky's wine sucks, so he's a great hockey player, legend, GOAT, but I guess he doesn't make wine according to Darren, so stay away from Wayne Gretzky.
Has anybody had Joe Montana's wine? I haven't.
No.
He has wine.
I don't know. Joe Montana's wine, huh? You never know.
Oh, Dusty Baker has a wine. Those are pretty good, and he's local. He's just opened a tasting room in West Sacramento.
Huh.
So a baseball player, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, his stuff is pretty good. Pretty good.
Wow. Well, that's some wines that we're going to have to try. We got some great ideas out of this show tonight.
So we're going to do we'll have wines from the 1970s tasting.
Yep.
And then we will have a celebrity-backed wine, a celebrity label wine tasting.
A celebrity wine tasting, yeah.
And then we can all dress up as our favorite celebrity.
I like that. And we should do these. I think both of these are probably things that we could do pretty quickly here. And also, we could do them, we'll do them virtually so everyone can go out and get their stuff. And so we'll work on that. This week, you'll probably see something about our 1970s 1970s wine tasting of some of our parents' favorites, or whatever they were. I don't know. My parents didn't drink those, but Tommy's mother's. Okay, so.
Oh, and Lori said Bump City. Isn't that the guy from Tower of Power?
Bump City? Not sure.
City. That's in Sugar Mill, I think.
Okay.
Lori, if that's right, let us know.
So Marcy said the Lancers is only $5.99. So I think we could probably put together a great tasting under $30 with the wines that we're gonna try. You know what'll be fun about that, Carrie, is we're not gonna give a shit. We're gonna say whatever we want about it.
Yeah, we're not worried about making anybody mad.
No. So and we might be surprised. We might be able to find it's something we can drink. So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, we should also make cool 70s snacks too. You know, like deviled eggs, and what else do you make from the 70s? There's a very definite type of appetizer that was popular then.
Yeah.
Like deviled ham. I think deviled ham was a thing.
Oh, yikes. All right. I'll leave that up to you. You come up with this. Right. You come up with a list of appetizers.
Okay.
And, and Marcy, by the way, said Bump City was at Sugar Mill once she tasted it there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the guy from Tower of Power. And Yao Ming. Oh, I've never tried that one either. I've always wanted to try that one.
Yeah. That does sound good. Well, can you believe it's already been an hour? We got to do this more often.
and I want you all to know that I had a headache and I was a little grumpy when we started this, but I had such a good time. Thanks to everybody for participating. This was really fun.
That's so cool. So,
okay, Marcy, sounds good.
Yep. Marcy said she'll help out. Well, I'm glad you feel better now. And tell Daisy we said hi. Daisy's popping into the picture.
I'm sure the absinthe didn't affect that at all.
Yeah, no, I think the absinthe probably helped you a little bit. Looks like she wants some too. I know, I see that. All right, guys. Well, listen. Just as a reminder, we will not be on. We will not be on Friday. So, unfortunately, we're going to miss you guys Friday, but we'll be back on Tuesday. So, we're going to come back on Tuesday for our Cinco de Mayo special. 5 o'clock. Should we start?
What's that? Should we start earlier?
Start at 4:30? Yeah.
Why not?
Start at 4:30.
Let's have a happier hour. Cinco de Mayo happy hour.
I think Cinco de Mayo we need more time, so we're going to start. Let's say start at 4:30.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so we're going to start at 4:30, and we're going to be back here Tuesday. So we're going to do a tequila tasting. We're both going to have some tequilas that we're going to taste. We'd love for you guys.
Yeah, we'll try to post them ahead of time on the Good Buzz Tavern. So if you want to pick them up, I'm going to try to My first one was from the local shop here in Roseville called Bourbon Wine and Spirits, but I'm going to try to do a restaurant for the other. Get a shot to go, so it'll be easy and cheap.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll try and post those ahead of time. So if you want to go get the tequilas and drink them with us, you can. Probably going to have some tacos and just have some happy hour fun. And if you have a great margarita recipe, post it to us and we'll put it on the show. Maybe we'll make it if it's something that we can do. That'd be awesome too. So
if you want to come show us your bartender skills, you can come on the show with us.
Exactly. We'd love to have you on the show, and you can make it live for everybody on the show. So that is going to be Tuesday, the Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
Woo, woo. Excellent. Looking forward to that one. Don't have to drive in.
Cinco de Mayo, a 70s party, a celebrity impersonation party. All right. I got my work cut out.
All right, guys. Well, we have we've got places to go and people to see, I think, after this. So until next Tuesday, I think I got to get another beer out because I'm empty, but I'm going to just bring this beer out here. Pop this open. But until next Tuesday, well, I'll be back together again.
And
thank you guys for joining us.
Rest of the week.
Yes.
Happy sheltering in place, I guess.
That's a good way to go. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Cheers.